Hi, I'm Eric Landblom. Last week, September 23rd, on CNBC, I was watching this news report in which they were quoting that there are 1.3 jobs for every unemployed American. It's pretty significant. They also said, though, that entrepreneurship went up by 24%. I'm like, that's interesting. But then this whole summer, if you've been reading the news, NPR, Morning Brew quoting a whole bunch of places like Wall Street Journal, Forbes, they're saying that there's this great movement called the Great Resignation. Well, I started looking into it and going, well, why is this such a huge thing? Why is there so many jobs out there? I've been hired to help the frontline managers answer that question. How do we retain our employees? So over the summer, as I've been working with clients and I've been doing my research myself, I observed that it's not that nobody wants to work, that they're lazy, it's that they're tired of crappy leadership. They're tired of working for bosses who don't care. They're tired of nobody taking care of them. So it all comes down to leadership. Here it is. Directly and indirectly, the leader is the problem. Sorry, but that's the hard truth, because one, the boss is either very good at managing or getting results, but has terrible humanistic skills or personal communication skills to be an effective leader. He doesn't inspire, doesn't provide hope. He doesn't give people a reason to stay there. So directly, the boss is just either good at getting results or he's just a jerk. Indirectly, it's as simple as not providing a culture for your people or just bad clients. So over the summer, working with a few different clients, my observations were about how indirectly the leadership, the management, the executives were not providing a culture for their people to come to. Let's face it, who wants to come to work when they're stressed out that they're going to have to come in and deal with a customer who throws a tantrum like a 3-year-old? We've seen it on YouTube. We've seen it on other social medias. People, full-grown adults, throwing a conniption fit just to get what they want. I wouldn't want to deal with that as a frontline employee. So why are you allowing your people to deal with it? Take the situation. A corporate accountant set up a policy to help the bottom line, to help their business get the money that's owed to them from the clients who've been slacking off on their payments. Typically, 90 days is pretty generous for allowing some clients or customers to be able to pay off their bills. So when the corporate accountant had the frontline employees going, hey, look, we're gonna, they're outside 90 days, we're not providing them any more material. So they agreed, they believed in it too. And so when the customer came in and started crying to the CEO about it, the CEO did not provide support to the employees or the corporate accountant. It was so bad that she would even give them more material without paying off the bills, putting him more in debt to them, but yet she did not provide any support, any backup to the employees who were loyal to her, just so she can keep that one customer who's going to owe them more money, but yet the money's not in hand. Without cash, you can't pay the employees. So when it came to bonus time in December, when bonuses were not getting handed out to the employees, why? Because they didn't hit their line, they didn't hit their line numbers, such as collecting money owed to them. Well, it goes back to the CEO who allowed the customer to be able to have a fit and still get more material without paying off the previous material. I wouldn't want to work for that either. And I don't know anybody that would want to deal with that. Let's take this brewing company in Colorado. They love their boss. They think he's a great person, but they hate the customers. The customers are so self-entitled that they fear coming to work for the way they get treated. And the boss does nothing to support or to protect his employees. So indirectly, it's still the leader's fault because you created a culture. It's not what you preach, it's what you tolerate. That's a big thing we grew up with in the military. Talk is cheap. Show me how you create the environment to protect us. So let's take this on the flip side. We're not saying that every manager, boss, or anybody is bad leadership. They're also knowing that, hey, minimum wage is about to go up, or they're paying more for an employee. Well, guess what? Because they're paying more, they're also going to be very stringent about who they select. We've been preaching to executives that it's not the people or the talent that you're hiring, it's the seat you're trying to fill. Because of the price point of that seat, they are going to make sure that they can do with the right person, the person that fills in that seat properly, not just anybody. There was a whole movement this last decade about cleaning up hierarchies. Some people even flattened out the hierarchies because they couldn't fill in the seats. But by having those seats available, you don't just fill them, you put in the right people. And that starts from the frontline employee all the way up to your president. That's how important those seats should be. Here's another thought that indirectly hits leaders. What about that one employee? Great skill, can't trust them. Everyone else you trust. They don't have the same skills as that one person does, but you trust them. Well, those people will walk away if you keep tolerating that one person. And here's why. If you can't trust them and they can't trust them, even though they're a rock star, the culture deteriorates. And that number of employees will walk away just because you want to keep that one talent. Now, if that one talent can outdo what those people do by themselves, good luck. Otherwise, I would take the people with trust over the people with skill anytime. And you should too. Look at Simon Sinek. He talks about this in his books and in his speeches. It's a very good understanding of why we want the people we can trust over the people that have the skill. So as we talk through this, understand it comes down to leadership. And there's some good points to this, and there's some bad points to this. The great points have been entrepreneurship's up. People want to be their own boss. People are not allowing somebody else to dictate how they feel about their life-work balance. And then also, leaders are knowing how to select talent. They're getting picky. They know what they need. They know that for a culture to be successful and to retain people, they need the right people in the right jobs. So take that in consideration. If you're a growing leader, what can you control? You can control you. Just because you can't control the market, you can't control the employees, and you can't control the customers, you control you. And by you're a growing leader. That means you continue to learn to train to be a better leader. You learn how to be a manager. You learn how to get more experiences or learn from other people's experiences to be a better leader and manager. And in doing so, people will come to you. People will follow you because you're the guy, the gal, the person who wants to make a difference in this world. I'm Eric Landblom. Thank you for your time.